Salam everyone. Today I would like to address a common argument about the idea of Ramadan being in the summertime. There's a lot of comments circulating around this topic, so I'd like to share with you my thoughts on this. Now, there are several theories about summer Ramadan, but most of them revolve around the idea of Ramadan being at or near the summer solstice. And this is because when you open the lexicon and look up the root Ramadan, it will tell you that Ramadan means scorching hot. So they conclude that this refers to the hottest days of the year. Now, to be honest, I do see some validity to this argument. However, I actually see more invalidity to the argument, and I'll give you two primary reasons why. The first reason is that if we are looking at the term or the phrase scorching hot to be referring to the hottest days of the year, then the summer solstice is not necessarily our base point. In fact, the summer solstice is the longest day of the year, but not necessarily the hottest day of the year. The fact is, in the vast majority parts of the world, particularly the Mediterranean climates, the hottest days of the year tend to come several weeks after the summer solstice. Mainly in late July throughout August are considered the hottest days of the year. And this is simply because it takes time for the earth to radiate the heat back after the summer solstice. So again, the summer solstice is the longest day of the year, but it is not necessarily the hottest day of the year. The vast majority of cases, the hottest days of the year tends to come several weeks after the summer solstice in July, August. So that's the first thing that we need to consider. If we are taking the idea of scorching hot to refer to the hottest days of the year, perhaps we should also look at July and August, not just the summer solstice. Because again, the summer solstice isn't necessarily, in the vast majority of cases, it has nothing to do with the heat. It's just the longest day of the year. So that's the first thing. The second thing I'd like to mention, and I mentioned it before, is that we also need to consider all possibilities. If we are using the lexicons, we need to consider all possibilities of what the lexicons are saying. The fact is, if we open Lane's lexicon, which is Lisan al-Arab in the Arabic text, and we look up the root Ramadan, it will tell you Ramadan means scorching hot. But again, if you just keep reading on, it will also say how the Arabs use this particular term in regards to the climate or the weather. And the Arabs at that time refer to the first rain that falls at the end of summer as Ramadan. Okay? So we need to consider this possibility. And again, if we assumed that August is the hottest days of the year, September would be the cooler days in which rain would start coming in. And so the end of summer, beginning of fall, and the rainfall is in September. And this is what I have argued. And this is part of my reasoning behind this whole idea of Ramadan being in September, October. It's because this is one of the reasons why. And so what I would like to say is that, okay, if we are going to use the lexicons, please consider all possibilities and not just say it means scorching hot, therefore it's only in the summer. We need to consider all possibilities. Wassalamu alaikum.